Well, good afternoon. 2 minutes to the top of the hour. It's my hope that your Friday is coming up well. My name is Linda Alela. I am right here to keep you posted as to what is in the world of news. It is time for News Now. It's always a pleasure doing this with you. And here are the highlights. Top on news. 5 killed, several injured in tragic crash on Sagana-Karatina Road. And several patients are stranded as health workers down tools in Vihiga County. Also, President Ruto presides over National Defense University graduation in Nakuru County. And News Now begins right away with this story where the Karura Forest management has refuted the claims of the forest is being sold out, that is to private developers. And according to the Friends of Karura Forest, the ongoing cutting of trees is a move to regenerate the forest aimed at transforming the forest from productive to a conserved ecosystem. All right, I'm told that we're working on that particular story to give you more updates as to the same. But as always, of course, the claims out there, as they would say, is that there's no cause for alarm. This being directed to the public. Do we proceed with that one or we take another one? All right, let's take this one and then we'll be coming back to that story later. 5 people have been confirmed dead, while scores of others have been seriously injured after a lorry that was transporting maize lost control and rammed into 2 other vehicles at Kibirigwi town along the Karatina-Sagana-Nairobi highway. Now, the lorry was heading towards Sagana when it lost control and hit 2 private vehicles that were heading towards Karatina. The lorry overturned as it was speeding and split several bags of maize across the road. The locals tried to salvage those trapped under the wreckage, and several passengers were injured during the evening accident and were rushed to the Kakamega County Referral Hospital and Vihiga County Hospital for treatment. The 5 bodies have been taken to the local mortuary.
Asubuhi mbaya sana, asubuhi ambayo kuna lori ambayo ilikuwa imebeba mzigo ya mahindi na imepata kukata breki, ikateremka vibaya na ikagonga magari mawili madogo, ambapo kuna watu 5 wamepoteza maisha yao, lakini majeruhi pia, kulikuwa na majeruhi na wamekimbizwa hospitalini.
Tumeamkia huzuni, watu 5 wamepoteza uhai wao kutokana na accident ya lori moja ilikuwa imebeba mahindi. Hiyo lori imegonga gari 2 na watu 5 wakaaga hapo hapo.
Well, a bit of a twist on that particular story, even, of course, with the details, but of course, we'll also be getting it right to keep you posted on the same. But then patients at Vihiga County and Referral Hospital have been left stranded after a section of healthcare workers downed their tools, citing salary delays. Radiographers and health records officers are among those on strike, with reports hinting that more staff may join soon. Letters dated October 18th, 2024 revealed that the radiographers' immediate withdrawal of services over repeated salary delays, while health records officers decried unpaid salaries since September. Efforts by journalists to access the hospital were thwarted by police officers guarding the facility, allegedly acting on orders from above. This is the second major disruption at the hospitals this year. In May, October, the doctors staged nearly 2 months strike over poor pay, delayed promotions, and mismanagement within the county health sector.
So waliniambia nipeleke mgonjwa wangu Kisumu Russia. So that time nilikuwa nipeleke mgonjwa Kisumu, but sikuwa na nauli ya kufika pale. So ikabidi nitafute mbinu venye anaweza rudi nyumbani kwanza ndo ataenda Kisumu baadaye. But uzuri nilipana na msamaria mwema, wakanisaidia, wakanifikishia mzazi wapi Kisumu. At the moment tulikuwa tumeambiwa itaanza kuoperate, fanya hizi billing zingine, scanning, x-ray, nini. Ilikuwa changamoto kubwa sana kufika kule. Unapata mgonjwa naye alikuwa ako weak, alikuwa anahitaji matibabu ya haraka.
Na isitoshe pia wakati tulienda pale kama wanaharakati wa haki za kibinadamu, tuligundua kwamba vitanda ziko wazi, hakuna wagonjwa, emergency services hazikuwa zinapeanwa, na wakati tuliongea na in charge ambao walikuwa pale, walituambia ni maternity peke yake ambayo inafanya kazi, lakini hizi zingine wamedischarge wagonjwa wote na pia hawafanyi new admission. Na naweza sema kwamba tukio la kupata yule mgonjwa akiwa pale chini ili tufahamisha kwamba lazima afya ya Vihiga ishughulikiwe. Manake tulipoenda katika ile hospitali ya rufaa kule Kisumu, admission haikuwa rahisi. Watu wa Vihiga walikuwa wamejaa huko sana, wale ambao walikuwa wamepewa referral.
Nataka kama waziri kuhakikishia wananchi kwamba huduma yetu ya afya inaendelea kwa hospitali zote 75. Lakini kumekuwa tu na upungufu kidogo hapo kwa VCRH ama kaunti yetu ya referral ya Vihiga. Na hiyo imaanishi huduma haitafanyika. Huduma inaendelea na wananchi wanaendelea kupata huduma. Kulikuwa tu na shida kidogo ya locum ambayo imeweza kutatuliwa.
And now back to our first story. The Karura Forest management has refuted claims that the forest is being sold out to private developers. And according to the Friends of Karura Forest, the ongoing cutting of trees is a move to regenerate the forest aimed at transforming the forest from productive, and that is to conserved ecosystem.
When the Friends of Karura Forest and the Kenya Forest Service established a joint forest management plan for this forest back in 2010, one of the few things we decided to do at that time was to convert this forest from a productive forest to a conserved ecosystem. What is the difference? A productive forest is a forest where you plant trees to harvest. A conserved ecosystem is a forest where you have trees and various other biodiversity species of bushes and so on that are endemic to that area. They are never harvested. They become the home of biodiversity, whether they are monkeys, wild animals, or birds. And that forest ecology is what we want to do here at Karura Forest.
All right, just a day after President Ruto cancelled the controversial Adani Deal, Youth from Laikipia County have voiced mixed reactions. Some are questioning the decision, citing lack of transparency about contract details and cancellation terms. And speaking in Nyahururu town, Dennis Ndereva argued that while the deal was unfavorable for the nation, saying the public deserves clarity on its terms and potential financial implications before cancellation takes effect. Ndereva warned that lack of transparency could then expose Kenya to hefty penalties unknown to the public.
Katika hiyo cancellation ya Adani Group katika mijengo ya Ketraco na JKIA, ningetaka kujua the agreements zilikuwa zinasema which party cancels, what is the benefit of the other party. Therefore, as a country, how much are we talking about to lose? Then, how do we cancel agreements? Which is the process of cancelling agreement? Ilifuatwa ama ilikuwa tu maneno ya kufurahisha wa Kenya pale katika bunge letu ambalo tuliona jana, siku ya jana, na drama ambazo walikuwa nasema.
Rais hatimaye amesikia kilio yetu ya Wakenya. We want to commend the president for cancelling the contract with the Adani Deal. That contract is cancellation of that contract is showing us that the president right now will not entertain unethical issues and ethical practices in companies like Adani. For now, we want to thank the president, and we want to urge the president to strengthen entities like EACC to ensure that all those people who are corrupt are called to book, and all those people who are whistleblowers who are calling this government to action are always protected, because the objective is to ensure that all those money that has been stolen are recovered and they are redirected towards the development of our country.
Well, in the same breath, a section of Pentecostal church leaders representing 21 umbrella organizations and 26,000 bishops from indigenous Pentecostal and evangelical backgrounds have today commended President William Ruto for listening to Kenyans and dropping the two controversial Adani deals. Speaking during a press briefing, the religious leaders have urged the government to redouble its effort to ensure that they address the high cost of living and unemployment. They further called upon church leaders to join hands in fostering national stability and reconciliation. And our renowned Mumbasa lawyer, Sheila Muthe, has been arraigned before Senior Resident Magistrate Rita Orari for allegedly stealing about 17.5 million shillings from her client. The funds are said to be part of the 52.5 million shillings proceeds from the sale of Crispy Limited property. Muthe also faces other 10 counts of issuing bad checks, and the accused pleaded not guilty to all charges. The court is set to mention the case for a bond ruling.
Submission that indeed there's a reason why we brought a criminal charges. There's criminal charges before you with the criminal offenses together with the sections pursuant to the law clearly laid out.
There's a missing 17.5 million, which is a charge for stealing by servant. And the remaining 9 counts are offenses against the state, which even if negotiations were to occur, the other 9 counts are offenses against the state, which are on the bounce checks.
We've attempted negotiations before, including recording an agreement at the police station. Unfortunately, the terms of the negotiations were never complied with.
We invite the court to grant favorable terms. Our plea, Your Honor, is for a cash bail, and we ask the court not to be punitive in granting bail terms.
The Kiambu County Assembly is in turmoil as a leadership standoff pits elected and nominated MCAs over voting rights of finance bills. And of course, Rabai MCA Hezron Gachui proposed amending the Assembly's standing orders to bar nominated members of Parliament or members of a county assembly from voting, insisting such decisions should rest solely with the elected representatives. Nominated MCAs, however, fiercely opposed the move, terming it unconstitutional and a blatant violation of their rights.
Very sad day for us as members of Kiambu County Assembly and the whole women at large in Kenya. We have made so many steps to come to this far that we have been nominated to the county assemblies in order to top up the gender regulations. However, today, members of Kiambu County Assembly, led by Honorable Hezron Gachui, moved a motion to remove all nominated leaders from voting in all money-related bills and also ward-related bills. So we are wondering, what is this in the Assembly that is not money-related or ward-related that will be left to do? It means that they are trying to alienate us from this Assembly and render us useless.
To say that laws are made to be progressive and not retrogressive. We have come from very far. For us to have this special inclusion of gender, special inclusion of marginalized, special inclusion of youths, for an assembly to be fully constituted. Then some members are trying to take us back.
All right, CI leaders are demanding the immediate overhaul of Kenya Coast Guard personnel stationed in the Kenyan waters of Lake Victoria over alleged harassment of local fishermen. Speaking during World Fisheries Day celebrations at Luanda Kotieno Beach in Rarieda Sub-County, leaders led by Rarieda Member of Parliament Otiende Amolo condemned the harassment, warning that it must stop immediately. Siaya Governor James Orengo urged the Nyanza Regional Commissioner to replace the officers as a demonstration of the government's commitment to safeguarding fishermen in Lake Victoria.
When then the Coast Guard came to Lake Victoria, instead of facing outward, they started facing inward. Instead of protecting us from the Ugandans, they started harassing our own fishermen. I can tell you that I have even myself written a letter. I have even had to quarrel. Sometimes I have even had to go to court because they arrest people and there's a standard charge.
I ask you, the regional commissioner, talk to the authorities in Nairobi and the entire team of Coast Guards in Siaya, the personnel, not the establishment. The entire personnel should be immediately withdrawn, and you bring a new team with fresh instructions. Lakini wale wako hapa, it will be very difficult to change their behavior.
Stakeholders in the education sector have hailed the competency-based curriculum, that is CBC, for nurturing critical thinking and creativity among learners. Unlike the 844 system, stakeholders have urged CBC, together with the International General Certificate of Secondary Education IGCSE, bridges classroom learning to real world applications, promoting self-reliance. And parents and students from Light International School, including Arnold Amondi, have praised CBC for improving communication, collaboration and practical learning.
Current CBC is borrowing a lot from the international curriculum. In our case, we offer the Cambridge curriculum, which prepares a student to be all-rounded. Students who are globally minded, and we offer specific subjects to prepare them for such. One of the subjects is called Global Perspectives, which is more of a research-based subject, which gives the students skills or knowledge that they will use later on in the university and later on even in their life. We understand that students are gifted differently, and when we receive our students, we normally subject them to what I can call career tests to try and understand their areas of strength. And we involve the parent in the journey. Once we realize a student is gifted in sports, for example, we offer them programs or support that will help them build up their skills.
Kuna tofauti kubwa sana kwa sababu alivyokuwa 844 alikuwa sana anaposoma ni kama ana cram yale masomo. ukimkuta wakati mwingine ukimuuliza swali kama baada ya kipindi fulani utakuta ni kama amesahau, lakini alivyokuja katika hii system unakuta kwamba masomo wanayofanya inawafanya wanakuwa na critical thinking, wanakuwa wana research, wanaenda beyond vitabu. So hiyo ilimsaidia sana kwa sababu unakuta hata sasa mkiongea mko na ile general knowledge, anaelewa vitu, kwa hivyo ilimpanua kiakili.
The Chronic Diseases Society of Africa has expressed satisfaction with the newly introduced Social Health Insurance Fund, SHIF, citing significant benefits for individuals with chronic illnesses. The Society's chairperson, Faith Okwayo, highlighted the establishment of the Emergency Chronic and Critical Illnesses Fund, a feature that was absent in the now-defunct National Health Insurance Fund, that is NHIF. The Society's Secretary General, Brian Odhiambo, called for the implementation of a digital national registry to simplify enrollment, noting that some members remain unaware of the registration process.
So we just want expediency now to penetrate the marginalized, to make sure that the level 3, the primary healthcare facilities that are in the hard-to-reach areas, in Garissa, in Busia, are accessing these services. And then there's a proper referral program, because they've included oncology, they've included mental illness, which we are very, very happy about. But are they penetrating to the last mile? So we would like a better rollout program where there's penetration. The infrastructure is ensuring that everyone is accessing this, and then there's more education, because they've also included preventative services. So the CHVs, are they everywhere? Are they well furnished? Can they access every patient?
Priority ambayo inafaa wa deal nayo ni kuensure ya kwamba wale ambao wako onboarded very fast. Na tuna suggest, because we have a registry, can we just onboard everybody? Number one, we don't need to go for registrations, because this county has a registry of kila mtu. Saa hizi ukifanya makosa, serikali itakukujia bila wewe kusema niko hapa. So why can't they just onboard everybody? Maana sisi kuangalia hizi maneno za registration. But be that as it may, sisi kama sisi tunapoenda kwenye camps ambazo tunafanya na kuongea na members wetu, tunawaambia ya kwamba let them register as fast as possible, as much as we are still sorting out these issues.
Now, a standoff was on Thursday witnessed at the Busia border after a human skull was discovered inside a passenger bus heading to Mumbasa, that is from Rwanda. And a section of residents of Busia are now calling on security agencies to be more vigilant and enhance security by conducting checks on passenger vehicles coming from neighboring countries to prevent such incidences.
Wananchi wa Busia tunataka haki itendeke, ijulikane hiyo imetoka wapi na ilikuwa inaenda wapi na ilikuwa kwa kazi na nani anahusika na hiyo biashara, kwa sababu huenda ikawa hiyo biashara inafanywa na watu hata wa Busia hapa na sisi hatujui. Huenda ikawa pengine kesho ni mimi nitakuwa victim na sijui. Kwa hivyo tunaomba vyombo vya usalama viweze kuhakikisha kwamba yule mhusika mkuu ambaye anafanya hii biashara chafu aweze kushikwa na mkono wa sheria uchukue mkondo wake.
Kwanza unajua sio rahisi kuangalia kichwa, sio rahisi. Na ilikuwa imepakiwa vizuri na mapolisi wakachukua wakaingiza nayo kule ndani.
All right, we now get sporty, where the 2024 Africa Triathlon Cup Championship will be held this weekend in Kilifi County. And the competition has attracted over 100 athletes from Kenya, Tanzania, Uganda, Rwanda, Mauritius, Morocco, Cambodia, Japan, Austria, and Germany. The categories include elite men and women. Youth for both men and women are groups and schools. Youth are age group categories will be held on Saturday, while professionals will be in action on Sunday. The national team has been in residential training in Kilifi, ready for the championship, which has cash prizes to be won and rankings.
We're just getting ready to compete with other people, internationals to be specific. And we expect a big turnout. I mean, this area is really nice. The traffic is minimal, the roads are okay. It's pretty green, so it's visually pleasing.
Beaufort Beach Hotel, we are preparing our athletes through a camp that has been organized by the Triathlon Federation. And the goal of this camp is to be able to prepare athletes for the Africa Cup. The Africa Cup is a monumental race where we can earn points for our local athletes and also get them to get exposed with other international athletes.
At Beaufort Beach Resort, Kilifi, in readiness for the Africa Triathlon Cup, which will take place this weekend on Saturday and Sunday. At the moment, we're having the national team training here, the youth, the juniors, as well as the elite athletes in preparation for the event. This is their third day in the training camp.
Football Kenya Federation presidential aspirant Barry Otieno on Thursday engaged delegates from the National Super League, Top Flight Leagues and Women's Division 1 leagues. Now, the former Chief Executive Officer of FKF met officials, that is from Mathare United, Mara Sugar, Kibera Black Stars, Darajani Gogo, Dimba Patriots, Kisumu All Starlets, Equity, Naivas, Fortune Sacco, Vihiga Queens and GFE 105. The FKF presidential election will be held on 7th of December and other candidates include Doris Petra, Sami Kempes, Ovino Tom, Alila and Chris Amimo. Sam Ochola as well, Cleophas Toto and Shimanyula and Hussein Mohammed. FKF county elections were held last week and this exercise will be officially completed this weekend in Garissa, Kitui and Vihiga.
Sema Barry yuko na maarifa kwamba ya kwanza amekuwa katika huu mchezo na pia amekuwa katika afisi ya kandanda. Sasa kwa yale yote ambayo tumesema, hata yale awali nimesema vile anataka kutengeneza mpira yetu, kuwezesha kila kitu kwa usawa, iwe ni mambo na uongozi, mambo na makandarasi na kuchangia kwa maendeleo ya mpira, nafikiria Barry ametosha.
And Esports Kenya earlier today unveiled their official monitor partner at Talanta Plaza in Nairobi County. And in an event presided by Sports Principal Secretary Engineer Peter Toom, Esports Kenya received 40 high-end gaming monitors. The screens will be stationed at Mount Kenya University, which is the Federation's official esports training center. This is a boost to Kenya as they prepare for the 2025 Olympic Esports Games.
When you look at Kenya in this region, and even in Africa, and you speak about technology, we are second to none.
Esports is a very fast-growing sport. It's based off making video gaming professional. In our country, it is estimated over 11 million young people play video games.
We have supplied, to university 165 Hz refresh rate monitors, which will really help them to get a much better experience.
This is a real historic moment where we are now looking esports as a force Kenya because we have great potential in esports.
And Getafe will lock horns with Real Valladolid tonight in the Spanish La Liga after the international break. Getafe sit in a 17th position with 10 points after 13 outings, while Real Valladolid